The arteries, the veins and the capillaries are organized into a definite structure that forms the circulatory system, and it circulates the blood, which is the national highway of the body. Imagine an earthquake in your town has blocked the roads, no food supply and no garbage clearance. It would be an utter chaos. The same situation would result if our circulatory system in the body is not functioning well. There are three types of circulation. We first take up the lesser circulation or the pulmonary circulation that operates between the right side of the heart and the lungs. The right side of the heart, that is the right auricle, is receiving deoxygenated blood through the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. From the right auricle, the blood is going to the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the blood is pumped into the pulmonary artery. Here you can see the pulmonary artery dividing into two branches, one going to the left lung and the other going to the right lung. Remember, deoxygenated blood is rich in carbon dioxide. This blood needs to be oxygenated, that is purified, so an exchange of gases takes place in the lungs. Once the blood is oxygenated, the oxygenated blood from both the lungs is brought to the left auricle by the pulmonary veins. This journey, beginning from the superior and inferior vena cava pouring their blood into the right auricle, that is deoxygenated blood, to the right ventricle receiving the oxygenated blood from the lungs, is called as the pulmonary circulation or the lesser circulation. The greater circulation is called as the systemic circulation, and it pertains to the left side of the heart and the entire body. We have studied that the oxygenated blood is brought from the lungs to the left auricle. From the left auricle, it moves to the left ventricle. The walls of the left ventricle, in fact, are the thickest, for they are to pump blood into the major blood vessel called as the aorta. Now, looking at this diagram, you may feel the entire circulatory system is so complicated. But in fact, if you understand it and your concepts are right, this diagram can be sketched within minutes, with your understanding being perfectly exhibited in the way you label and use the arrows. Let us start understanding the systemic circulation. The aorta, when it leaves the heart, that is the left ventricle, it divides into a number of branches. Well, this is the aorta. Now, all the way as it runs down and also above, it gives rise to a number of branches. Now, if a branch goes to the stomach, we can call it as the gastric artery. If it goes to the kidney, it's called as the renal artery. Going to your lower limbs, it's called as the iliac artery. A branch may go to the gonads, it would be called as the gonadial artery. So on, you can name the arteries after the name of the organ where they are entering. Now, once the artery enters a particular organ, let's take this example. The renal artery has gone into the kidneys. In the kidneys, it divides into a number of finer branches, that is the capillaries. Now, the function of the capillaries is to supply the oxygenated blood to every cell of the kidney. These capillaries will now unite to form the renal vein. What would be the difference between the blood flowing in the renal artery and the renal vein? The blood in the renal artery would be the oxygenated blood. But remember, the oxygen of this has been given to the cells of the kidney. So the capillaries now, when they unite to form the renal vein, they have the blood full of carbon dioxide because the oxygen has been given to the kidneys. The idea here is all arteries on reaching an organ break into a set of capillaries. Capillaries unite to form the veins. Now iliac artery, the vein formed with capillaries joining would be the iliac vein. Renal artery, capillaries joining would form the renal vein. Remember, the arteries from the large intestine, the small intestine and the stomach, they combine and they once again break up into a second set of capillaries inside the liver to form the hepatic portal system. Can you see the hepatic portal vein? It's twice that the arteries are breaking up into a set of capillaries, once in their respective organs, then they unite, they reach the liver, they divide into capillaries. The main reason for this is when they come from the intestine, they are carrying absorbed food materials like glucose, which they deposit in the liver to be stored as glycogen. Eventually, all veins, iliac vein, renal vein, hepatic vein, all combine and they open as the inferior vena cava that pours the deoxygenated blood into the right auricle. Same process takes place in the upper parts of our body. You can see the carotid artery, which is also the subclavian, that is going to the arms. It has divided into a set of capillaries. The capillaries have united to form a vein, and the deoxygenated blood from the upper parts of the body is poured into the right auricle by the superior vena cava. The flow of blood from the left auricle to the left ventricle and then to the aorta, which supplies it to all the parts of the body till it returns to the right auricle, is called as the systemic circulation. This diagram also shows the pulmonary circulation taking place between the right part of the heart and the lungs. Remember always to represent the course of blood with the help of arrows. What about the heart? Its blood requirements have also to be taken care of. There is a third type of circulation, that is the coronary circulation, that takes place inside the heart. The coronary arteries, two of them from the aorta, supply the oxygenated blood to the heart, and the deoxygenated blood is poured into the coronary sinus that opens into the right auricle. What about the heart? Its requirements of blood should also be taken care of. Well, there is a third type of circulation in the body called as the coronary circulation. From the aorta arise two branches called as the carotid arteries. From the aorta arise two branches called as the coronary arteries, which supply blood, oxygenated blood to the heart, and the deoxygenated blood from the heart is poured into the coronary sinus, which opens into the right auricle. I repeat, the blood requirements of the heart have also to be taken care of. There is a third type of circulation called as the coronary circulation. From the aorta arise two branches called as the coronary artery, which supply pure blood to the heart, that is the oxygenated blood. The deoxygenated blood from the heart, picked up from all the parts of the heart, is poured into the coronary sinus, which opens into the right auricle.